Hi there, welcome back to my channel Reacting Chill. I'm Dika. So last time on Bleach, we had the confirmation that Orihime had now been taken well, not taken, because as Yamamoto had said, she had voluntarily met up with Ulquiorra after he gave her 12 hours to finish up her business and say goodbye to one person. That one person that she chose was Ichigo, and even though she was kind of in a way professing her love for him, you could say she pretty much was, because she was going to kiss him before she went, and she realized it's not the thing to do. She'd also healed him. After at that point, Yamamoto had declared her being a traitor because she had voluntarily went with them. But the funny thing was, and I kept going on about it last time, was how when the likes of Rukia were about to disobey him to say no, we're gonna, because now that Orihime has gone over to their side, he was gonna get his special force back just to defend the Soul Society, just in case, because they didn't know what was going to be going on. He brought in Byakuya and Kenpachi if anybody decided to not listen to his orders. So they turned up literally on their doorstep. He basically already put that plan into place, and he brought in I still find it funny, the big guns to basically take him back, because there was no way they would be leaving that basement, and they were going to be leaving one way or another with Kenpachi or Byakuya or in a body bag. But Ichigo now was going to team up, and he already did after he went back to Kisuke's place, team up with Uru and Chad to go on a mission to Wekamundo. We also had that bit with Ichigo and his friends. Tatsuki basically knocked his lights out because she felt as if they were no longer friends, and she was very adamant with him, saying that I know you know what happened to Orihime. So he basically told them, you know, for your own good, it's best that you don't associate with me anymore, because Ichigo was so annoyed and so frustrated he couldn't do anything for his friend Orihime, considering Orihime is always wanting to rescue him and save him, yet he was powerless to do so, obviously, until he met up with Kisuke to break into Wekamundo. But now I'm excited to see how the journey goes for our three musketeers to save Orihime. Here we are with 143 and 144. Oh, they turned up! They probably followed him.
It was him, right? You can tell he's hiding something. I read Ichigo like a book. He is going to do something. It's like he's telling us right out loud. So what do you think, then? What should we do?
But Ichigo was in his Soul Reaper form when he came here. So unless they could all see him in that form now, because I know Keigo probably could, and we knew Tatsuki could because she saw him transform and run off. But yeah, he came in his Soul Reaper form, so I'm wondering if, what's his name? Mizuino. I wonder if he could see him now as well.
Here in my right hand, the stone that connects the worlds. In my left hand, the blade that binds existence.
God.
Is known as the Garganta. There is no solid ground beyond this point. Only a chaos of reishi. Each of you must create his own path out of that reishi.
Can you let my family know that I'm alright?
Aww.
I want you to tell them not to worry.
I'm sure Ishin already knows.
And what about your friends?
When I come back home, I'll apologize to them.
I didn't realize they could fly now.
Why don't you three come out now?
Oh, they were there.
I was well aware that you were following Ichigo. So, I left the store unlocked.
Oh, God.
This is Las Noches, our palace.
Las Noches, the night.
Sorry to rush you, Orihime, but will you show me your power? I want you to heal Grimmjow's left arm.
Yeah, I thought.
Crazy, Lord Aizen. It can't be done.
Now I reject.
Hey, are you listening, girl? And there's no reason.
She's literally building his arm back.
Alive.
Wow. I knew they were gonna do this.
Beyond the point of healing.
Yeah.
She has the power to return things to the state they existed in before events changed them. Come here, one more thing.
Oh yeah, his mark.
Just what do you think you're doing, Grimmjow?
He's gonna kill him. Oh. Oh my god. And Aizen just lets this happen in his court.
My power is back. The sixth Espada is Grimmjow again.
Waco Mundo's beyond here.
Nope. Concentrate.
My.
Uri. Probably gliding, yeah.
That's pathetic. I mean, really, can't you make footing that's any better than that?
I want you to make me one.
Look, your inability to control spirit energy means that you wouldn't be able to use this.
Kisuke said that in exchange for
Yeah.
my father's training, you promised you wouldn't get involved in.
Yeah, so sorry. I completely forgot about that part of the deal. So what is Uryu doing here?
Hello there. Sorry to disturb you at this hour. Huh? I see what it is you're trying to tell me. To go with Ichigo to Waco Mundo, right? That can't happen. Wait a minute. Did you just say a moment ago that Ichigo is by himself? You're a substitute soul reaper.
Ah.
And furthermore, you've been abandoned by the Soul Society.
Loophole.
What's this? In all the years that I've known you, you've never called me that.
Oh.
What's with the change in your attitude? That attire. You got all your powers back? Pretty much. How do I look? It makes me sick.
So Ishin had to get his powers back for him to get back. Okay.
So you wanted him to go, huh? That is none of your concern. If he lives or dies, what a horrible father. I'm a great improvement over you.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
That's very interesting. But that last comment about him being a better father than Ishin definitely makes me think that there is history beyond Ishin's time being in the real world. Maybe that's why Ishin acts the way he does with Ichigo and Karen and Yuzu, the way he's so overbearing, because unless he had children before, unless he had to give children, like had kids before or anything like that, that's why he's so over the top and overbearing with them. I only assumed he wanted to be this very present father because after they lost their mother, but it could mean something else, especially, or it could be more of the fact that, actually I'm not sure.
I was told to stay quiet here, but there's nothing for me to do.
I hope they feed you.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, yeah.
But right now, I have to make them think that I'm of use to them, no matter what.
That is clever thinking because it could just kill you. Oh! Oh, that was quick! Oh damn, did they literally break through?
Hey! Is anyone here? Come on out!
Ichigo?
Oh shit.
Look what you've done! Is that what you call being careful?
If you'd kept your mouth shut, we wouldn't be in this mess.
I'm ready for anything.
Oh.
We're screwed.
Amazing. All the traps they've set are so simplistic.
I'm glad you find them so impressive.
Oh wow. He stopped it with his bare human power. Whoa! He doesn't even have his arm thing on. Impressive.
Nice work, Chad.
Oh my god. Ew, no. Yeah, please. Thank you, Uryu.
Wait! What are we running away for?
Side. I'll go check.
Hey!
Oh. Is it? Ew, the creepy thing.
Don't underestimate me, human.
This is crazy! Let me help!
Stay right there. Chad and I have got this handled.
They're trying to keep Ichigo out of the
I told you to stay out of the way.
Maybe they feel like they've got something to prove, that they want to be of use.
I thought this guy was just using an ordinary attack. Now!
Yeah, he's gonna be right there waiting for him. I was gonna say they were poorly matched. Why didn't Chad come after this guy?
I became so absorbed in the challenge of fighting the same opponent all this time that I completely forgot one of the basics.
Sick.
This is my new weapon. Ginrei Kojaku.
Oh shit! Damn, Chad has really grown. Shit!
The only weapon you've got is that bow. And there's no way it can defend you against my Unya Tirotead.
His bow is forming multiple mini bows. I mean, arrows.
I think there's something you should know. My Unya Tirotead is able to fire a continuous stream of 108 shots at once.
My Ginrei Kojaku fires slightly more. Like 1,200.
Oh! I'll say it's done for. Ew. What is that?
Are you done? Since you waited until now to use that attack, I'm guessing it was your last resort and you've got nothing left. But in this situation,
Oh shit!
El
Director! So there's a really good episodes, and like I assumed would happen, as soon as Orihime ended up in Hueco Mundo to Las Noches, the palace, to not prove but to show the full extent of her ability to the other Arancars in court, Aizen got her to heal Grimmjow's arm, which I knew that was going to happen. Yes, and I remember Sonten Keshu, I reject, is essentially, if I was ill, you're rejecting that. You're literally, whatever's within the field's going to reject it. And that's how, as Aizen explained, it is beyond spiritual or anything. It's literally her power. As we saw in effect to Grimmjow, it returned his arm and it can literally bring back what used to be there. So it literally rejected the idea that there was nothing there no more and brought back his arm, and it constructed it again. I suppose it has something to work with, something that was originally lost. It could use, so her technique is really powerful, and that's why a lot of people were impressed because of the way the technique works. So yes, as soon as Grimmjow reinstated himself as Espada number 6, he was quick to kill Lupi, and like I said, Aizen was just literally sitting there to watch all of this happen, punched him in the stomach and then blew literally his head off. And I could understand Orihime's concerns, because now she was literally sitting there thinking to herself, I will feel really bad if me healing them is going to cause a lot more shit for her friends, but she needs to, while she's there, prove her worth, because they're right, if she becomes useless, why would they be keeping her there in the first place? The fact that her abilities can literally, if they lose an arm, lose a leg, they know that Orihime is there to literally help them regrow it back. So her thinking was correct. It's sad to think she is the way she's helping the enemy is going to be bad for her friends, but she's hoping that they're going to continue getting stronger, so it's the guilt doesn't get to her too much. And again, when they were making their way into Hueco Mundo, and like I mentioned in the reaction, I don't know if I always forget his name, Mizuino can see Ichigo, because Ichigo turned up there in his Soul Reaper form, so I'm pretty sure Keigo and Tatsuki, they never mentioned it, Tatsuki would see him in that form, but as his friends they wanted to follow him. They saw that really nice scene where while they were helping her bandage her arm up, they were all as concerned about Ichigo and what was happening, and therefore they couldn't do nothing. Even within their ability as just being humans, they couldn't sit around and do nothing. So I'm not sure what Uruhara had in mind for them, Kisuke, once they turned up at the shop and he knew they were there. So I guess it's just like he said, he's so naive. He assuming that you could just reject, like tell your friends to F off and you could be cold to them, they'll stop being your friends because of this situation. They were very worried and concerned for him. So I like the fact that as much as Ichigo's changing and essentially adapting and having new friends and yada yada, his old friends still care about him and are just as concerned for him. And I completely forgot that whole contract Uryu had made with Ryoken about never helping a Soul Reaper again, but the loophole was correct. Essentially, this has nothing to do with the Soul Society, and Ichigo did say himself he's a substitute Soul Reaper, so technically he's not really directly helping the Soul Reapers, it's just in the capacity of Ichigo he's helping, and more ways than not helping Ichigo with Orihime, who I think Uryu considers Orihime his friend. Now, that conversation between Ryuken and Ishin was very interesting. Like I mentioned in the reaction, he mentioned that, it's been a long while that he's got his powers back. And I mentioned before, depending on how long Ishin's been in the world of the living, did he get his powers stripped from him? Were they taken away? So I'm wondering what the history and situation is about that. And how did he have to get his powers back? Ishin and Ryuken are very familiar with one another, especially how he addressed him and how Ishin was like, I didn't expect you to call me that. So I don't know if he called him something else. So that's very interesting to know. Also, and the thing that again got on my radar is how even though Ishin called Ryuken out as a terrible father, he was like, I'm much more better than you, which then begs the question, what was Ishin like prior to whenever he landed in the world of the living? Because he would have had a life in the Soul Society. He was in the Soul Society at some point. And the other thing I thought of is maybe it isn't down to that. It could just be the fact that whereas Ishin hasn't opened up about his powers or anything like that to Ichigo, so the fact that he's completely hiding this whole part of him, maybe that's what Ryuken was saying, but I think it was more down to their actions, because how Ryuken was like, I don't care if he lives or dies about Uryu, and the fact that even considering he said that, Ishin is still a worse father, much more worse father than him, makes me think that there's definitely a history there, a history that they'd known. And it's weird to think Ishin wasn't not Ishin, sorry, Ryuken, even though he said he had no interest in being a full-time Quincy, I'm again wondering if there was, because the Quincy's hate the Soul Reapers, Ishin's a Soul Reaper, Ryuken's a Quincy. Again, I'm wondering if there was at some point in some fight or something, if their timelines would have crossed. So it's very interesting, and I would want to know what their connection is. And then finally, when they finally got to Los Noches, how both Uryu and Chad, but I'm more impressed and happy with Chad, because looking at how he went up against this Arrancar compared to that first Arrancar he could barely keep up with, let alone defend himself, he almost died. It just goes to show how much he's come, how far he's come along the way, which is not surprising considering he was literally training with a lieutenant of the Soul Reaper, Soul Reaper lieutenant, and who had achieved Bankai. He was literally up against Renji, battling and training with Bankai. So I'm really happy for, and it's clear that his gear has been updated, and he had his new attack, his new finishing move, El Directo. So he's probably going to finish off that poor Arrancar. And obviously Uryu, I've always thought Uryu was incredibly powerful and strong. And I know that the strain his powers had on him, but now with his new upgraded Ginra Kojoku, it looked sick. It's like a little turning wheel, and by the looks of it, it's probably not as it doesn't have such a negative effect on him. I know the other one, it was a bit of a straining effect, whereas this one doesn't look like that. So it's clear that in the midst of them fighting, they didn't want Ichigo to get involved. And again, this could be one of two things. I mentioned they feel like they've got something to prove. I know Chad definitely feels like he's got something to prove, and he mentioned it many episodes ago that he still wants to, even though when I think, what's his name? I think when Ichigo told him not to get into the fight, it's like, we always used to fight along each other, and he felt so bad that he couldn't do that for his friend, to still be in the fight with him. But I suppose it's also to show that we're still as useful, or we are capable. Watch us use our new powers to be able to help you, because it's always Ichigo coming to their rescue, Ichigo coming to save them, Ichigo being able to save the day. But unless they had a mental conversation while they were traveling, they were very much like, no, we're gonna sort this out, you save your strength, because this is just the appetizer. Aizen's still here. They're pretty much well aware of the other Arrancars. You've got Grimmjow, and Ichigo's going to see Grimmjow's got a brand new arm. So they're very aware that he's going to deal with the big guns. Let us deal with this. At least let us show you we are useful, and this is why we came along. That was fantastic. And again, I mentioned this reaction. I do love the way, I got a feeling the way Ishin and Ryu can interact is literally very similar to how Ichigo and Uryu interact. And I'm really hoping we do get a bit more of a flashback of Ishin's life. He might have been a good, like, they might have been friends, enemies, whatever you'd call it. But no, it's really exciting and I cannot wait. But thanks so much for watching this video. If you did like this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.